Hey everybody, welcome back to the Invictus Vlogcast. Today we are going over Fight Week for Meaghan. So for those of you who don't know, one of our girls, one of our fighters, Meaghan Pennings, it is Fight Week for her. We have the Peak Fighting Championship fights this Saturday. So it is Thursday today when I'm actually making this video. So weigh-ins are tomorrow. So I know this is a little late. So I apologize for that. Maybe I should have done this on Monday. But we actually got the interview video from Caged Minds. Caged Minds is a local and professional individual who runs a MMA podcast as well as working on ESPN and some other things. So he did an interview for Meaghan, just kind of going through what led up to this fight, her experience, things like that. So we're going to be watching that together. It's not necessarily going to be like a reaction video. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, like they do on the silly reaction videos when they get views. I'm just going to be watching it with you guys. I'm going to be talking with you guys. So, and that was a little overdramatic. I actually just did what I just said I'm not going to do. That was kind of funny. So like, as you guys probably know, this is not scripted at all. I just go off the cuff and just talk a bunch of crap in here. So yeah, we're going to be watching that video together. I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of the background, how things have been in the gym, and, just giving you guys some information going forward. So to start off, Meaghan is currently our only professional MMA fighter, really our only MMA fighter currently in the gym. So we've had professional MMA fighters, professional fighters come through the gym and do some of their camps with our team. For a multitude of different reasons. And then all of them, I would say all of them, have represented another school for the fight. And Meaghan is actually the first individual who's come in as a professional, trained with us for her camp, and then actually represented us. So it's been a kind of a very awesome experience and more of a unique experience for us. It's a first for our team. So we've had Muay Thai fighters, jiu-jitsu, all of that, boxing, all of that. But this is the first pro MMA fighter that has trained with us that actually represented us. So that's been really awesome. And like I said, we've had multiple MMA fighters come in and do part of their camps with us, but never actually represented us. They've always been part of another team, came into town, worked with us for a while on something specific, or had our coaches work with them on something that they needed help with. And then, they represented another team. So this is the first time, like I said, that we have a professional MMA fighter representing our team. So it's going to be awesome. So Meaghan is fighting in Peak FC 28 against Lydia Warren this Saturday. So Saturday, May 6th. And we're going to watch everything leading up to the little interview of everything leading up to the fight. And so Meaghan came in with her boyfriend Matt. This last year, I can't remember how many months off the top of my head, but and she's been training with us for a good while. We've been refining the striking, working on the grappling. She's done several grappling tournaments with us, and taken the gold on them and gotten the wins on them and stuff like that. So she's a phenomenal grappler. She's very good. She also fought prior to us in Invicta. Her first pro fight was in Invicta, and she won. So she's an undefeated pro fighter so far, and it's going to continue that way, by the way. But yeah, so she's undefeated with that, and then we are going, into our second pro fight this Saturday. So her first, like I said, was in Invicta. She did well, and then she won. And then, so she moved to Albuquerque. She started training. She trains a little bit at Fit as well to get some of her MMA rounds in with the girls there. But since she's been here, she's been working with us. We've been going through the striking. We've been refining details all over the place. So that's kind of what we do. Like, we're a very detail-oriented gym. We don't like to throw fighters in any bout on the mats for jiu-jitsu, in the rings for Muay Thai, or in the cage at all without being completely prepared. We want a strong attention to detail. That's the way our school works. So if you hadn't noticed yet, and that's actually why we separate the Muay Thai and the jiu-jitsu from just doing a normal MMA program. Is I like to have it very specific as far as the details for both. But getting back to it, Meaghan and Matt have been in our gym for a while. She decided to take the fight about 6-ish weeks ago with Lydia when Peak came to her and asked her for the fight. We all thought it was a cool idea. Lydia's a bit bigger than her. She is a bit smaller, so this is going to be a catch weight fight. So normally Meg fights at 115. The last time Lydia went out was for a 115 fight, and she got to 120. So she missed weight by 5 pounds. So this time they came around and said that they want to make the weight class 120. So Meg gave up 5 pounds, a 5-pound weight class. And if you're a professional fighter, if you train fighters, or if you've ever been in fighting, 5 pounds is nothing. Like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? There's weight classes for a reason. There are size differences for a reason. So Meg's already given up 5 pounds, and we think she's going to kill it at this weight, and she's looking good. She's looking strong, and it's going to be awesome. So so let's real quick go over to the Caged Minds interview, and I'm going to be not interrupting it, but we're going to be chatting about things. Hopefully I'll make this video not super long, but I definitely want to give you guys some a little bit of background and some information going forward, so you guys have a little bit going into this. So let's switch it over. All right, so we are on the Caged Minds, and if you've never been to this page, this is Caged Minds, kind of a local podcast. He goes around. Micah goes around talking to fighters. He does interviews, local scene. MMA, kickboxing, boxing, grappling, as it says right here. So this is Meg, and we're going to watch this video. So here we go.
Welcome to Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. I'm live at Invictus Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. It's fight week for Peak Fighting Championships 28, debuting in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Co-main event, highly anticipated women's bout. We have Meaghan Pennings, who's going to be taking on Lydia Warren next to us. Meaghan, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Micah?
I'm good. It's been a long time. It's 2.5 years since the pro debut. I've seen you more often than that, but how's it feel to be back in fight mode?
It's really exciting. It took a minute. I'd say we started this camp, or we knew about this fight maybe 7 or 8 weeks ago. So I've had a pretty good full camp, which is really nice. When I took my Invicta Pro debut, it was on 3 weeks notice. So I was staying ready and stuff, but it's nice to have a full camp to feel like I can really work a game plan. And I'm really excited for this Saturday. 2.5
years. Did you ever question if we'd be back at this point?
So during that time, I was training a lot. So after I had my Invicta debut, I 1, broke my foot, 2, broke my nose, and 3, I was starting to worry about the brain damage. I was having some concussive symptoms and stuff. So I continued training, but I stayed away from sparring. I was grappling a lot. I did a bunch of grappling competitions last year as I was really feeling like I was back into it.
And that's what I was saying, everybody. She's been pretty active with us in the grappling. She did a super fight. She did a couple tournaments, and really honestly just did phenomenal in those. The actual tournament that she did, she ended up going against somebody who was bigger as well, and did very well with that too. Ended up getting the win with that too. So so this is when she's talking about that. Yeah, she's talking about the grappling recently, as well as probably before us as well. But yeah, she's been really active despite having the layoff from following Invicta. So yeah, get back to it.
I also was traveling around the world with my boyfriend, who plays Master Can on YouTube, and we were just having fun. So I kind of just took some time to kind of reset and decide, is this what I really want to do? And coming back into it, when we joined this gym last year together in June, it's just been so awesome to have a community, but also to realize this is what I really love to do. And at first I was like, well, I'll just train. I'll just train all the time, and it's something that I enjoy doing, but I won't take as much brain damage, and this is great. you just get that itch. Like when you're training all the time, and especially after taking the jiu-jitsu competitions, where you just want to test everything you've worked on. You want to test your skill sets. You want to see like, okay, have I improved? What have I improved on? Like, and so that's where I'm like, I need a freaking fight. So I'm excited to be back.
How long has this itch to fight been gnawing at you? How long were you looking to get back in the cage?
Since last June, on it, like since we got here, and I've been like back in my jiu-jitsu, back in my routine, back to like, but then I was somewhat dealing with some like, just, I wouldn't even call it injury. It's like when you first get back in, if you take time off, what I learned the hard way this year is like, you have a lot of like aches and pains that take a while. Like your body gets into fight shape, and then when it's not in fight shape, it's just that more likely to get these little nagging things like tendonitis, and then like my back was bugging me, and like so it took a while to like get my fitness right, get my routine right, feel like 100% healthy. Okay, now I'm ready to get back in there.
So just chatting about this a little bit. Excuse me, very unprofessional. Fighters, just because, and this is just like a very important point that she made, just because we are training for a fight, you know, we're getting ready for something, doesn't mean we're not going to have aches and pains. You know, fighting takes a specific kind of conditioning, and it's not something that you should be at all the time, because your body can only take so much. So that is why fighters go through camps. All right. So I just wanted to bring that up there because it's kind of important, because there is a misconception that people think that if you're a fighter that you should always be, you know, in a very specific place with your body. And you know, that is true to a degree. You should always be healthy. You shouldn't be walking significantly heavier than what your weight class is, and then having to cut it all down. That's really bad for you. But taking the damage in between the camps should be limited, because when you're getting ready for a fight, your body can't sustain that level of, I would guess, intensity and damage that you put yourself in through a camp. So you do, as you're getting ready for the camp, you know, you're reconditioning your body. You're getting yourself back to being used to being able to go that hard and be at that intensity and things like that. But just very, very important to, you know, just keep that in mind as we're doing these things. So there we go.
First camp with this team, what has it been like?
So it's been really awesome. I'm actually the only MMA fighter here. We have a lot of guys who do Muay Thai. We actually were just at the Muay Thai Open in Phoenix last weekend. I was helping coach and helping with the weight cuts for the guys. We actually had 2 of our 4 guys make the finals, which is like a huge deal. So we're like a smaller group, but we have a lot of Muay Thaiers, and then we have a lot of Jiu-Jitsu competitors. Our girls team is really starting to grow. There's like 8 to 12 of us on the mats every night now, which is awesome for like a smaller gym. And they can, like a lot of our girls compete too. So it's like we have jiu-jitsu competitors and we have Muay Thai competitors, but I'm the only MMA fighter. And so that meant that I got a lot of one-on-one attention with all of my different coaches, and that's like been really helpful. A lot of different like considerations of game plans, and you know, my coaches in different specialties looking at strategies from different perspectives. So it's been really cool to work with these guys.
The fight's highly anticipated. It's been speculated for quite a while. What would it be like if the 2 of you fought? What do you think about this matchup?
So I've actually been asking for this matchup since November. I have asked for this 2 times before this one. They never, you know, so on the Fit card, you know, I used to train at Fit. I still train at Fit. I get all my fight work in there, my cage work in there with the girls there. But Fit was putting on their show at Rebel, and I said like, hey, what about Lydia Warren? And so John Judy, the matchmaker there, he reached out to their camp twice for 2 different shows, never heard back. So this is the 3rd time. This time Peak Fighting actually called me and said, hey, we heard you want to fight Lydia. And I'm like, yes, I've been reaching out. I just think it's a fun fight stylistically. I think we have similar amounts of.
It's just funny thing about this. So it's the interesting thing about this, the way that this fight came about. She is what she said is exactly kind of what happened to us like a little while ago. So when Fit was doing their cards, the Fight World cards, she did bring it up to us that she wanted to do a fight. They talked about doing Lydia in there, and then she was trying to get that fight set up. This is when we first started thinking about even fighting Lydia. And so we started, you know, starting the game plan, starting to to see what we were going to do, what we were going to be working on, and things like that. And then when that fell through, all of us thought, okay, well, this just isn't going to be something that worked out. This is going to be something that's just not on the cards. So we kind of moved on, and then it was just a very random call that brought that back, and this is what she just talked about. It was just a very random, like, Peak just, reached out to her out of the blue, and she came to me and she was just like, hey, by the way, so Peak reached out and they have the Lydia fight. And all of us were like, whoa, none of us thought that was really, we thought it was a dead deal. There was nothing that was going to come up of it. So it was really cool. But so that was kind of the little history on that. So let's get back to it.
Experience. We both moved here to Albuquerque about 5 to 7 years ago. So I just think it makes a lot of sense. I do know that her weight, she's not really sure where she wants to land for weight classes. Her last fight was supposed to be at 115. So I thought, okay, we're the same weight class. They asked for it at catch weight of 120. So I accepted that. So hopefully we have no surprises there and we'll be good to go for Saturday.
She's been thought of as a striker, even though in her pro debut, she showed off a wrestling game. We know that your jiu-jitsu has shined through brilliantly in your game. Do you think it's more than striker versus grappler? Is there almost like a battle to show who's more well-rounded in there?
Yeah, so honestly, I've actually been working mostly on my striking over the past, since I've taken time off, and I'm actually really excited to show my striking off. I haven't talked much about that game plan because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't I don't want to say I wanted it to be a surprise, but I don't want it to be everyone knows me as a jiu-jitsu person. And I do think ultimately that's where it's going to go. People will say all the time after they've worked for a year or so on a skill set when they've primarily been another skill set. And then you watch the fight and you're like, they totally just did jiu-jitsu because that's what they've always done. And so I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a striker and I'm going to go show off all this striking. But I feel like I've made huge improvements with that. And I'm really excited to make it more of a striking battle. But if she wants to wrestle, then I'm going to get it to the ground on my terms. So.
Feels like you're rededicated, and it's almost a new start with obviously where we are. How do you look at what's coming up Saturday? Just like the beginning of something new, basically.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it as. I did sign a 3-fight deal with Peak Fighting. So after this fight, then hopefully I have 2 more, and that would make me 4-0 at the end, assuming we have all the results we want. And honestly, if I had, I think, 1 fight after that in LFA or one of the leagues that are kind of a UFC feeder, I would love to be on the big show, either UFC or Bellator or PFL in the next 2 years. And I think that it's really possible. I feel healthy. I feel ready for that. So as long as that continues, that's where I'm trying to go.
So it's a complete rededication to MMA is where you're at.
Yes.
Awesome. And we get to see the first step this Saturday night, everybody, at the Revel Entertainment Center. Meaghan, as always, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Micah. Get your tickets, guys. Use discount code Penning when you buy tickets, Section A. If you want to be in my section to support, really appreciate it. And I hope to see everyone there. Oh, also, we do have the day before on Friday at 6:45 p.m. There is a press conference and a ceremonial weigh-ins that is free and open to the public.
All right, so just bringing this back here. So there's the fights this Saturday, the weigh-ins, the ceremonial weigh-ins this Friday at Revel, Revel, not Rebel, not Rebel. Just got to keep saying that just because I had a couple of people who didn't know what it was, including myself. Originally, I'd never heard of the place, but so kind of a cool venue. So so that's going to be at Revel, and Meg's going to be fighting Lydia, and we're going to be in Section A, just like she said. So we got some of the team going. It's going to be exciting. So it's first professional MMA fighter who is representing our school. So it's a big deal. Myself, Coach Edgar, and Coach Jeff are going to be in her corner. So it's going to be, it's going to be a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Just kind of giving a little bit of a background and then watching this video. And then we'll talk more following the fight. So I will see you guys in the gym. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you soon. Thanks, guys.